Do we have a fantasy star on our hands here, George? Here is the question with Jaden Daniels of the Washington Commanders. A lot of folks went into the fantasy season saying, hey, look, maybe this isn't Anthony Richardson, but it could be the next best thing. I'm here to tell you, I don't know. I'm sort of feeling like Daniels could be better than Anthony Richardson.
I don't know if I'm going to go there yet, all right, but I think he's in the conversation, yeah. What did we hear at draft time? A lot of people wanted a quarterback who can move. Right, you don't want the guy who's going to take 5-7 steps and throw the football anymore, because you want that additional rushing yards. You know, you get 50, 60 yards, that's a touchdown. Right, that's why Josh Allen is so valuable. Lamar Jackson is so valuable. Right, you go up and down. Jalen Hurts. You go up and down here. I think Daniels is going to be a good quarterback. I think Washington got their guy, and he can throw the football too. We know McLaurin's a really good wide receiver. It may not be much else there. We'll see what McCaffrey can be. Luke McCaffrey can be there in time. But, you know, I do have hope for him. I think at season's end, he's going to be a quarterback one. It may be a low-end quarterback one, but a quarterback one nonetheless.
Yeah, I was really impressed watching him in that game. All right, now Anthony Richardson, look, he's going to have a big year. He's going to have a big fantasy year. There's no question about it. I don't know about the long-term viability here. And look, give him credit. He hung in there with the Houston Texans. My fear for him, George, is that when you go back and you watch film, if you protect the deep ball against Richardson, he could hurt you with his legs. And that may be where all of his fantasy value is coming from. I cannot see him throwing 2 70-yard bombs like he did again.
That should come in time, right? Practice time. I think he will get better here. I think Richardson's going to be fine. Does need to learn how to avoid hits. All right. Once again, that hit. Remember that hit from Tua last night? He initiated it. Slide. The rules are made for you not to get hit. Take advantage of them.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. The picks, the players, the hustlers, the people, the busters, and everybody else in between. Let's do this thing. The Wicked Wednesday has begun, and we've got a lot of stuff going on in the late night hours this evening, including an electric football game in Los Angeles. The LA Bowl by Gronk has been an entertaining one so far. The under was a trendy play with the hipsters today, believing that the UNLV Running Rebels lost their coach, lost their offensive coordinator. They're basically running the same playbooks that they've ran all year. They're running on a script. They're basically like, there is no play caller. There is and there isn't. Like, you know what I'm saying? The wide receiver coach is the head coach. Cal are playing their third-string quarterback. Their starting quarterback left. Their backup quarterback's hurt. So they're playing a third-string quarterback, and the kid's balling, of course. Right, so we've got this has been one of the highest scoring early start to a bowl game. Most of these bowl games start off slow and then they start to open up as the game goes on. This game sort of started off slow. You know, there was like a 3-and-out here and a 3-and-out there, but since then it's been pretty electric. And the in-game total is actually 58.5 right now. The UNLV Running Rebels are leading. UNLV, go fight, win, are leading the Cal Bears right now, 14-10. We're early in the second quarter of play. In-game total up to 58.5. UNLV are minus 160 on the money line right now. That's what it was at kickoff. Cal plus 135. Cal getting 3.5. Well, that's what they were getting before kickoff. I was kind of surprised that there was so much love for UNLV, despite all the adversity that UNLV had coming into this football game. Listen, it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to deal with not having, your quarterback than losing your offensive coordinator and losing your coach as well, like UNLV are dealing with. But it is what it is. Entertaining football game. Cal just went to the end zone, but UNLV knocked the pass down. So we'll keep our eye on this. We've got some games coming up here tonight. Let's start off in the National Hockey League, actually, because we've got a couple of games. We're dropping a puck here. The Vancouver Canucks and the Utah Hockey Club. Utah or Arizona, right? This is the Coyotes. So it's not like they're an expansion team. Some people sort of act like, oh, Utah are a new team. They're not a new team. And Arizona weren't bad. Arizona have been stockpiling draft picks over the last couple of years. Arizona were, a scrappy team, but they were playing in a volleyball rec center last year on a campus of Arizona State. So now they're in Utah. They're playing well. They've won 4 of the last 5 games. But the Vancouver Canucks are a dominant road team. They're 10-2-1 on the road this year. The Canucks are not very good at home for whatever reason, even though they're coming off a nice win against the Avs the other night at home. The Canucks, they handle their business. They get the job done for the most part on the road. I love betting the Canucks on the road when they're underdogs, and that's what they are tonight. Small dogs, plus 100. It was like plus 105, plus 110. It's come down to plus 100 right now. Utah minus 120. The total's 5.5. And props to the owner of the Utah Hockey Club, who also owns the what's his name, Ryan Smith. He also owns the Utah Jazz basketball team. But I saw today, earlier in the day, he posted online on X. He said, I got 700 tickets to give away. First come, first serve. Sign up. And, that's pretty cool, right? The guy gets it. He's one of the younger owners in professional sports. And listen, a lot of teams would just basically eat the tickets and say, whatever, dude, we'll have 700 empty seats. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not losing sleep over it. But, sell, and he gives away these tickets, and, they're trying to sell a sport in Utah. A lot of people in Utah have never been to a hockey game before, right? So I like the style, but I also couldn't help but think, because I think it went up to like 2,000 tickets he ended up giving away, actually. He started off with 700. Then I'm thinking, you know what, you're having a hard time selling tickets, because you're not just giving away tickets out of the kindness of your heart here. You have a lot of tickets that are left on hand. It's better to give them away and try to get a customer to come back and buy tickets down the road. But they're playing well on the ice, whatever. It's a crappy arena. It's not, whatever. It's a basketball arena. It's not built for hockey. There's bad sight lines and stuff like that. It's not a hockey market. They just sort of dropped the hockey team in here. It's doing okay, but they're doing better. They're doing good on the ice. Speaking of expansion, they're talking about Atlanta. I swear to God, man, they'll go to Syria before they put another team in Canada. Like, they will literally put a team in Baghdad. Let's go to, they'll be like, yeah, you know what, Iraq is really being put together again. We want to be part of the redevelopment of the Gaza Strip. We're going to put a team there instead of Quebec City, even though Quebec City has the money in an arena. No. But the Canadian dollar clearly isn't helping the Quebec potential franchise. But it looks like Atlanta's coming back for the 13th time. The Winnipeg Jets and the Ducks are playing. Jets played the Sharks last night. They got it done 4-3. Winnipeg always beat San Jose, and they always beat them by 1 goal. So they were big favorites last night, the Jets. And they're not big favorites tonight, but they're favored again going back-to-back. So they were in the Bay Area last night. Now they're in Los Angeles tonight, in Orange County to be exact, in Anaheim, which is just outside of Los Angeles. You can pretend it's in Los Angeles, but it's one big place, but you know what I'm saying. It really is a big place, right? Like, Orange County and L.A. are not the same place. It's not like the same city. They don't have the same police. They don't have the same mayor, right? It's a different place, unless you're the baseball team there and you want to pretend you're from Los Angeles. Cal just missed a field goal. Cal marched the ball down the field and missed the field goal, so UNLV got in the football back. Still up 14-10 right now. So the Ducks just started. I don't love this one. I like the Canuck game better because the Canucks are better. But I lean with the Ducks tonight. I got the Ducks in one of my alternate puck line plays that I like to play. We got a Michigan money line and a bunch of plus 2.5s and 1.5s and stuff that I threw together. But I do think the Ducks are the play, and I did play the Ducks at plus 130. Smaller play on the Ducks at plus 130. We're in on the Vancouver Canucks. College basketball. I tell you what, man, college basketball has been really, really, really good this year. And it's only the start of the year. It hasn't really, you know what I mean? It's kind of the opposite. It's funny. College basketball is kind of the opposite of it's the polar opposite of the NBA because the game's actually entertaining in college basketball right now. And it's the opposite of football. Like, there's no bitching in college basketball. Like, people will just play each other. That's what I love about it. It's like people, North Carolina have lost 5 games. Yeah, look at the teams that they play. Look at Michigan's schedule to start this season. They're like, yeah, sure, you want to play? Yeah, sure, we'll play Oklahoma on a neutral court. Yeah, sure, we'll play Arkansas. Yeah, sure, we'll go to Wake Forest. You know what I mean? It's just one big game after another. And not to mention their conference games. But there's been a ton of like non-conference, big-time cool games. Like last night, the Florida and the North Carolina game was a great game, non-conference matchup. Tonight we got Michigan and Oklahoma, the undefeated Sooners. The Michigan Wolverines, Dusty May doing a great job with this program. Michigan up 43-38. The total was 149. Michigan were 4-point favorites in the game. We're on Michigan. We're on the over. It's a little bit higher scoring. It's on pace for the over, 10 points on pace to the over. So we got a full house on the program tonight. Brady Cannon steps up and in. Paul Bovey is a scratch this evening. Paul Bovey's traveling right now as we speak. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get Paul in later in the week if we can. So Paul Bovey is out. But the Ranger Red Cam Stewart is in. And, of course, Babano, Ian Cameron, is in. And one of Babano's partners in crime, Connor Mack, in the house tonight. The Wicked Wednesday has begun. Bring it.
So my team didn't win this weekend, but I still did with this app that's taking over the game. Sports Millions Pick'em lets you make quick and easy predictions. Pick your favorite players, go higher or lower, and you can still win big even if your team loses. Plus, the multiplier is insane. With just a few picks, you can win big money. So get on it. They've got a welcome bonus to help you start off your winning streak.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York team has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. The Wicked Wednesday has begun. SportsGrid Radio and Television Network, Sirius XM Channel 159. We've got our eyes. A lot of stuff going on tonight. The Michigan Wolverines playing the Oklahoma Sooners in the Jumpman Classic, Jordan's tournament in Charlotte. Last night it was Florida, North Carolina. Tonight it's Michigan and Oklahoma. The LA Bowl is going on right now as we speak. And it's a very competitive game. UNLV Running Rebels are up 14-10 on the Cal Golden Bears. UNLV have not won a bowl game in 24 years. All right? The last time UNLV won a bowl game was the year of 2000, and the late, great John Robinson, who just recently passed away, was the coach. Their interim coach tonight, Del Alexander, happened to be the wide receiver coach in 2000, and he's also from Los Angeles. So there's a lot of special, storylines in this football game. Brady Cannon is in Las Vegas. Brady, good to see you. Cam Stewart in the house. Brady, I'll start with you being in Las Vegas. I found it fascinating, the point spread of this football game, considering they lost one of the better coaches in college football in Barry Odom to Purdue. The offensive coordinator got upset because he didn't get the head coaching job, and he was going to stay and coach it through, and then he's getting a Sacramento State job, so he leaves. Ricky White, their star wide, one of the few players that they actually have that'll be in the NFL, decides at the last second tonight not to play. I didn't think he was going to play, and then they said, oh, he's going to play, and then he decided right before, no, I'm not playing. And with all that being stated, Brady, UNLV were still like 3.5, 4-point favorites. It kept climbing all day. Insane line to me. And everybody, all the hipsters love the under of this game. So, of course, we got a track meet to start off. It's 14-10 early.
Yeah, exactly. Just what you least expected. But, yeah, I didn't quite understand the line movement either. And what was really interesting, Gabe, is Cal opened up as a 1 or 1.5 point favorite in this game. And I don't know if word came out about Cal, had some guys drop out. I didn't really hear anything like that. Then you had the coaching change and Odom and Dan Mullen, who, congratulations to Dan Mullen, UNLV, the football program. I think it's a wonderful hire. All of a sudden, I've been here 30 years. All of a sudden, UNLV is playing for keeps when they're getting real about this stuff. They're paying Mullen. He's the highest salaried coach in the Mountain West Conference now for football. So I love how UNLV has really stepped up their game. And Barry Odom kind of started it. I mean, 2 straight years to the Mountain West Championship. Dan Mullen's got a tough act to follow, but we're fired up here in Rebel Land. So it's all great. And I hope they run away from this. I grew up in the Bay Area being a Cal fan, but I'm rooting for the Rebs tonight. And, I think once it got past 3, that's where I was like, okay, let's slow down a little bit. Maybe that's where I would have came in and bought back on Cal. And you're right, very competitive, like you say, been a little bit of back and forth both ways. The fake punt by UNLV was outstanding. I had never seen it orchestrated or executed that way, the way they did it. Right now, obviously, UNLV up by 4. The live number's 2.5. I'd love to lay that under a field goal, but I'd also probably want to take Cal if I could get 3.5.
You know what's amazing, as you just stated, so they bring in Dan Mullen. Suddenly, high-profile TV coaches and SEC guys are seeing the Vegas landscape and saying, all right, I want in on this. I want part of this. Now, I never thought in a million years I would say this. Only if UNLV would start putting money into their basketball program like their football team. And,
yeah, right.
It's almost like mind-blowing to say that out loud, because I remember UNLV basically and their win totals being 1.5. They played literally on a toxic garbage dump.
Awful.
In the Boyd Stadium, Sam Boyd Stadium, literally and figuratively. It's like, I think they did like the nuclear bomb testing there or something like that. I was out there and someone told me, they said, yeah, this is all toxic, all this dirt. And I was like, really? They're like, yeah, I'm not kidding. Like, it was just such a
part of the
wasteland.
selling point too. That's part of the, one of the reasons Mullen's excited. He can sell the fact that these guys play in Allegiant Stadium. They got maybe the nicest stadium in the entire conference.
Nice stadium, nice facilities.
And the Fertitas, practice facility, put a bunch of money into that. So, things have been good for UNLV for a couple of years now, and I hope they continue.
Don't forget about Finley and the Finley Car Group. Very, very big, very big boosters.
Yes,
That's who basically carries UNLV, the Fertitas and the Finley Car Group. That's true. I love their such random commercials Finley has. Hi, I'm Jim Plunkett. They got Jim Plunkett back there. He's out throwing passes, an old dude.
Ed O'Bannon
cool stuff.
was in some ads.
Oh, wow, Ed O'Bannon. Cool.
You know that my favorite
UNLV
one though
is UCLA guy.
Randall Cunningham. Randall Cunningham's in the ads. because Randall, of course, people don't realize that Randall Cunningham was actually a UNLV running rebel. And Randall Cunningham led the nation in punting as well. He was that good of a punter. He used to be able to crush the ball. If you guys remember, when he played in the NFL, he did a lot of the pooch punts. Like they did a lot, we're going to go for it. No, we'll punt it at the last second. And he always used to cough and corner and put it inside the 5. All right.
His daughter medaled in the Olympics. In this last Olympics, I believe, his daughter, I think she's a high jumper. She went to Bishop Gorman High School out here.
I didn't know that.
So
I didn't realize
family.
that. Yeah, great. One of my favorite quarterbacks. All right, so NHL hockey, the Florida Panthers are up 1-0 on the Minnesota Wild with 6 minutes left in the first period. Cam, the Canucks in Utah have just started. We're about 7-8 minutes in. It's still scoreless there. And same thing with the Jets and the Ducks. Who do you have in these games?
Well, Gabe, let's give you a 3 or 4 pack right now. We're going to take Minnesota live plus 1.5, minus 120, and we'll slice it up with plus 215 on the money line. Florida scored first in this game, and Minnesota, I think, will hang. We got a lot of hockey, good home team in Florida. I think we'll be a little bit tired in the third period. They've been playing a lot. Give me the Vancouver Canucks as a pick 'em in Utah. I think they're playing good on the road game. We've been on them the last couple games. They've been good to us. And be careful. Winnipeg barely beat SJ Sharkey last night. Give me Anaheim as a pooch against the Winnipeg Jets. Let's roll.
All right. So, we got a bunch of late-night hockey going on here. We'll get into a little golf talk. Wrap up that showdown that nobody saw yesterday and get into the NFL with Brady Cannon.
There's a better chance the Raiders might stumble into a win because of who they're playing over the next few weeks than the Giants, who I don't think will win.
I don't believe for 1 minute that they want to win a game. I do not believe that the New York Football Giants want to win a game at all because it will cost them dearly. In fact, they will continue to suck for years to come if they screw this up.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circus Sports Million, Circus Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With 2 former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Morency, the LA Bowl. Under 5 minutes left in the first half right now. Cal moving the football, trailing 14-10. They're in the red zone right now, but there was a false start on the play. The game has slowed down a little bit. It's one of these weird games. Like, both teams, Cal have a third-string quarterback in. They don't have their star wide receiver. There's a lot of new players playing in all these bowl games. So you get sloppy drives, and then, boom, you get a couple of big plays. But there hasn't been a big play in a couple of minutes So maybe Cal scores, and we'll see if UNLV can respond before the end of the half here and get 2 scores on the way out. Another thing we should know, Cal's kicker is a lot like a lot of these kickers. You don't know what you're going to get. Very, very shaky kicking on a lot of these bowl games. So Cal inside the red zone. We'll keep our eye on this. So no big-time golf this week. Yesterday was the showdown in which it was kind of, on paper, it was a good idea, right? Like, it was almost like, all right, some of these guys really kind of don't like each other. You got a bunch of egos. You had the PGA versus the LIV sort of angle. But truth be told, nobody really cared, right? And no one really knew it was happening. I know in the golf world, the hardcores knew about it, but the casuals really didn't know about it, didn't care about it. And it turned out to be a very weird tournament for the people that went. Now, for the record, it was free at least. They didn't charge for the tickets. So at least people didn't pay. But there was quite a sequence of events that went down. Barely after an hour after the opening tee shot, darkness hit. Temperatures plummeted down over Shadow Creek. Here's the quote here. Many of the 2,000-odd fans ended up leaving. Many were unsure where to even go and what was happening. Perhaps the most telling moment was when a fan could be overheard in a quiet moment. Now I know why they said you should just watch this on TV. So, a few minutes later, fans stood in long lines for the restrooms and the bar. They just couldn't watch any of the golf because the majority of Shadow Creek was in fact closed. The fans were not told that they would be turned away at the 5th hole. They could only watch the first 4 holes. Only VIPs and TV crews were allowed past the 5th green. Then fans were left to wander Shadow Creek on their own. There was a bunch of fans just walking the golf course, not knowing how to get off the course. That'd be a nightmare for me. I could see that happening to me, being all drunk, walking like the wrong direction. I'm like, oh, man, I got to walk back this way. I did that in a Formula One race. I went in and I was all cocky. I'm like, I know this track like the back of my hand. I literally went to the polar furthest spot that I should have gone to, and it took me like an hour after. Then after that, Scotty Scheffler's dad got hit by an errant shot from Bryson DeChambeau on the 2nd hole. He then faked a limp. He said he could laugh about it afterwards. Said, I've been following my son for years. I've never been hit by a golf ball before. It's quite the... So what did you hear, Brady, from people in Las Vegas about this event?
Well, it was kind of unfortunate, and what you're going through there, the disorganization, if you will, has to lead me to believe that somebody was running this other than the MGM properties. The MGM, Resorts owns Shadow Creek, and they would know about darkness. They would know how to, have
handle
the
fans
routed.
on the course.
Yeah. And so it seems like an outside organization or something might have been, trying to execute this plan, and it didn't go very well. It's unfortunate that, and I don't think they should do these things in the wintertime when it's dark out here at 4:30. Let's have it in the spring or the summer or something like that, where you can show off maybe the greatest star of all this deal is Shadow Creek, a remarkable golf course, one of the best in the world. But, when it's
kind of pointless playing in the dark, right? And people can't see
it. Can't see. You can't really see what, how good are these shots that these guys are making. You can't really get a feel for everything when it's that dark out. So, you've got 4 of the most intriguing players in the world. Let's make this a bigger deal. So I thought that was, and then, it also didn't help that Rory and Scotty got out to a big lead quickly and kind of sucked the drama out of all this thing, in addition to everything else. So you didn't have a lot of theater in addition to everything else that was, I don't think the greatest stage for this contest.
And Gabe, it was so bad that they actually locked the betting because they took such a lead. Like, they didn't even take it. It was just like locked. It was really big. Like, even from
they went to like instantly minus 500. It was very quick. It went from like, boom, it just shot up. And like you said, they froze it. I think the sports books realized, man, this is bad. Let's just turn it off.
Abort.
Hit the lock button. Bam.
there's a better chance the Raiders might stumble into a win because of who they're playing over the next few weeks than the Giants, who I don't think will win.
I don't believe for 1 minute that they want to win a game. I do not believe that the New York Football Giants want to win a game at all because it will cost them dearly. In fact, they will continue to suck for years to come if they screw this up.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circus Sports Million, Circus Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. All right, we're going to get to the NFL. Just last thing about golf. Looks like Fox and Liv are close to a deal, which, all right, good for Liv, but I don't understand what the whole sort of potential merger was. They're going to end up going head-to-head now. And if you're a golf fan, so is that, I don't know. I guess, I would say, is that what golf fans want? But if I was a hardcore golf bettor, it's almost more is better. But think about it, Cam. You could have potentially two tournaments going on at the same time. Which, like I said, which is just insanity to me because I thought they were supposed to partner up. And now, like, Fox isn't going to air this, bro, at 1 a.m. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not signing this deal to, like, oh, yeah, we'll work around the PGA. No, they're going to sign a deal and go, no, we're going to show golf from Thursday to Sunday now. Right? So
one thing, yes, Gabe, you're absolutely right. Brady
seems insane to me, actually, this.
It is. But Brady, I guess the Live tournament, due to their different formats, it's 3 rounds, and they also include a team competition, which the PGA Tour does not include. So, Gabe, usually those events end a little bit earlier, but I just think the whole thing is insane as well, because it's like you're kind of looking at it and going, the point that we're trying to make is it's advantage Live. If these guys get a real, like, TV deal, I remember I was watching this stuff off, Gabe, like, with episodes of Batman in the 60s, and it was crazy. Like, the only one
it's
channel
a hard watch.
Yeah,
that's the thing. But Live is a hard watch. Like, I know some people like the team stuff. I'm not, whatever. I've seen it. I've seen it on the CW network, but I don't know what the hell's going on. You know what I mean? They got music blasting. They got guys taking shots. I don't know what it means. Like, and then they put the score up, the points. I'm like, I don't know, guys. You're all your stupid little names. You're all a bunch of rich guys, your little stupid team names and stuff. Like, I don't know. To me, I'm just like, whatever. Like, I watch it. I'm like, yeah, it's like Disney on Ice or something. It's like, you guys are.
I agree with all that, Gabe. I think
don't you know what I mean, Brady? It's just so gimmicky. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. 100%. And it was hard, very hard, and maybe still is. We'll see, for John Rahm to deal with. He didn't like the music and this and that, and the show, the rah-rah, the dog and pony show. But a deal with Fox.
Hey, we got the Chainsmokers playing.
Pressure on the
good party.
I think it puts more pressure on the PGA Tour to get a deal done. If the PGA Tour says, "Oh my gosh, we're on CBS and NBC and they're on Fox," it's like, hey, we better act we've got to get a deal done to merge. So I think maybe this puts more pressure on them to get a deal done. That's the only thing I think that is positive. If you're not just a fan of LIV, I'm a fan of golf, and like you say, golf betting. I want all these guys to play together. I want this thing to merge. I want the competition to be what it used to be. And this could put more pressure on getting that deal done. I think most people expect it's not going to be 2025, obviously. I think the people out there are expecting and hoping that it's 2026 when we have, a merger.
Brady Cannon, Cam Stewart in the house with us. So UNLV came up with a stop, actually. Cal were inside the 10. UNLV stuffed them. Cal did kick the field goal. It's 14-13 with $1.50 left in the half. All right, let's get into some football. And Paul Bovey is not on the card tonight. He was a late scratch. He's traveling. So we got a couple of extra minutes with Brady if we go long here with the football. But a lot of stuff happened in the NFL.
He was in Las Vegas, and I bet you he was maneuvering with his entries in Circa Survivor.
Wow.
He's no dummy. And I mean, that inherent value of his ticket, he's down to one live entry, which is about $300,000 in inherent value. So I imagine he was probably here maneuvering, hedging, monetizing, what have you, whatever you want to call it. His position.
He's pretty
for
open
this
about
weekend.
things. Yeah, he's pretty open, but I know as of 2 weeks ago, he was putting like 20 dimes on the other side already.
Oh yeah, sure.
Right. And he covered the spread too, and that's how hot Paul is, Brady.
So he was middling.
So the team, the team won. Yeah, he had Philadelphia, but he put 20K on the Panthers plus the points. So he survived, and he hits both. Because that's it, Cam. You get this late, especially there's only 3 weeks left.
Exactly.
You got $14 million on the line. You got a lot of wiggle room, Brady, here suddenly.
Great.
Oh,
You can
awesome.
drop $100K on the game.
What's
Okay, as long as you got the bankroll, you go, all right, whatever, dude. I'll do it again next week. And I hope I lose 3 weeks in a row and I win $14 million.
Well, and Circa is very open to that too. They encourage. They know what kind of collateral you've got behind. They know you've got $14 million possibly coming to you as well, right? So they'll go ahead and open up a line of credit for you and let you put big money down. They know they're not set up to lose either. They're not set up for you to not pay your bill, right?
Call.
That's why I guess Derek Stevens is next level, because some properties should be like, no line of credit so you can hedge us.
Oh, line of credit's good. Very good. It opens up a lot of doors. Line of credit.
Actually, it'd be a bad idea for me. I could get pretty, I'd be like, hey, 50K, 100K here, let's go.
Whoa. Line of credit. Yeah, no, I got to
be his favorite customer, Morency.
Gabe knows this too. Like what? So there's a lot of guys, Brady, probably, and you're doing the show, like selling teams. And what's a team worth now? I guess with the math,
right?
People left. I'm asking you, like, what is it? Like,
no, seriously, the inherent value.
It's 300K, Cam. It's about 300K now.
14.2 million divided by 50.
Wow,
it's around 300,000. Yeah, so
if you were going to sell it to someone,
investors
just
are coming in, mini corporations are being formed. I mean. There's all kinds.
Exactly.
I told Derek a couple of years ago. I said you've created a cottage industry down the stretch here,
bro.
I mean,
imagine the hustles going on behind the scenes. There'd be people coming in, going, dude, I'll give you 50K right now. I want in on this. Win or lose, I want to buy a share at 50K. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yep.
A lot of deals going on.
It's incredible stuff, and God bless everybody. God bless Circa, Derek, and all the participants. It's fantastic. What a game. I mean, could you ever imagine?
It's like I said in the documentary they did there. When I was there earlier in the year, and I did the little thing there, and I told them this contest is the American dream.
Yeah.
It's the get rich, you know what I mean? And
I know some guy
American
on
way.
SportsGrid, you always see his ads running. He's now got a show about football contests in Las Vegas, right? I mean, that's where this
very presidential. Very presidential.
Very regal. Yes. Looking good. That's
right, so
crazy.
UNLV 40.
What would it take you?
46
if
seconds.
You had a team. What would it take you? Cash offer to sell the team if it was worth 300K. What's your number?
Well, I've always said, Cam, that if I was in Circa Survivor and I got to a point where the inherent value of my ticket reached 6 figures, that's when I would start to maneuver. And now, obviously, we're at 3 times that. So once I got to about 100,000 in value, I'd be like, okay, let's play around here and see what we can do and make some money. Because look at what we've accomplished. We spent
You're right.
$1,000 on an entry this summer, and now it's worth $100,000. I'm gonna take advantage of this situation I'm in.
Cool.
But there's different ways. And I don't know this, but I'm assuming not. So that's like prop swap. You can't do that on this? Could you put your ticket up there?
I don't know if that would work.
Because it's a contest, because of Nevada rules, and I would imagine.
Yeah,
the line of credit at Circus seems to be the way to go, Gabe. Not on prop swap.
Well, I
right?
call you guys and go, hey, Gabe, give me 10 grand and you're in. Hey, Stan, give me 10 grand, you're in. Hey, I call this guy, give me 20 grand, you're in. Pretty soon you got it, So it's not hard, I don't think.
It's like the movie with me and Krakenberger talked about it. There's a movie with Danny Aiello and the LaGreca kid there, the actor. What's his name? The actor. But Aiello was the father. They were degenerate gamblers, the family. They were always going to poker games and cards and sport, whatever. And they got a lottery ticket, and it was down to like the final 12 and then the 6. And the same thing. The hustle began. What to do with the ticket, right? Like, were they going to save the ticket, sell the ticket, split the ticket? And, of course, hijinks began after that. But, yeah, you know what? I can't imagine. Like, Bovey's got to be buzzing right now. Like, you know what I mean? It's hard not to think about it. Even early in the season, you think about these contests and your mind starts to drift and wander a little bit. And Paul openly admitted, like, that he smashed things a couple of weeks ago during the game. Said he was supposed to go out to dinner. He was supposed to go out to dinner, Brady, with his girlfriend after the NFL Sunday games were over, and she refused to go. She goes, oh, maybe something bad will happen in the restaurant, and you'll throw something at the TV. I'm not going with you.
There's a better chance the Raiders might stumble into a win because of who they're playing over the next few weeks than the Giants, who I don't think will win.
I don't believe for 1 minute that they want to win a game. I do not believe that the New York Football Giants want to win a game at all, because it will cost them dearly. In fact, they will continue to suck for years to come if they screw this up.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With 2 former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I'm Gabriel Morency. Scoreless right now with 5 seconds left in the first period. So low scoring, no goals scored in the first period at Lake City tonight between the Canucks and the Utah Hockey Club. We're at the intermission. The Florida Panthers are up 2-1 right now after the first period of play over the Minnesota Wild. So we got 3 goals early in the first period in that game. And the Ducks and Jets are scoreless after the first period of play. So low scoring games, late games tonight. As far as college basketball is concerned, Alabama lead North Dakota right now, 80-78. That's right, 80-78. Close basketball game. Michigan, man, they've been riding this number all night long along the border of the point spread. They're laying 4. They've been up by 4 and 5 and 6 all night. It's 63-57 blue right now over the Oklahoma Sooners, who incidentally play each other in week 2 of the college football season next year in Norman, Oklahoma, unfortunately for Michigan. Oh, they should be able to win the game. And congratulations to Brady Cannon for hitting a sweet 25-1 Travis Hunter to win the Heisman Trophy. Congratulations on the win, Brady.
Yeah, that was very nice. You were asking me about that new swingers place, the golf place at Mandalay Bay.
You got to put in context. Say golf after. When I said I'm asking you about that new swinger place, people think I'm asking you about the green door in Vegas, Brady.
Yeah, the green door, not the green door. Swingers around the back door of the Mandalay Bay. I walked in there to cash that ticket the other day. Yeah, that was a good one. And credit to our guy Colby Dant, who comes on with us just about every Saturday with Adam Kaufman and I here on the Grid, our college football game day show on Saturday afternoons. He tipped me on that in about week 2 or week 3 of this season. He got a ticket back in like May or June at 80-1. He was telling me about it. I'm a big Colorado fan. My daughter went there, and he told me about this. I said, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So I got him at 25-1, and that was a nice payday.
Liberty Flame quarterback Caden Salter has committed and transferred to Colorado. So that's going to be Dion's first quarterback that's not his son. Right, his son was his quarterback at Jackson State. His son came with him to Colorado. So the first quarterback that Dion will coach, that's not his son, will be Caden Salter from the Liberty Flames. All right, NFL football. We got a lot of interesting stuff. We got to get Brady out of here. We got about 6 minutes here. Denver Broncos is now 2.5. It's come down. Smoking hot team, looking to clinch a playoff spot for the first time in 9 years. Against the Charger team that's kind of beat up right now and seems to be trending in the wrong direction. Totals come down a little bit. It's at 41.5 right now. The odds makers don't get it wrong often, guys, but they rolled the dice that Mahomes wasn't going to play, and the Texans were favorites. Now the Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites. Steelers are 6.5-point dogs. Michael Penix will be starting for the Atlanta Falcons. And Michael Penix, not a lot of rookies are 9-point favorites in their first ever game, like Michael Penix is, but they're playing the New York Football Giants. You got the Eagles and the Commanders. It was 3.5 right now. What your 49ers are a 1-point underdog at Miami in the Underachiever Bowl. Buccaneers and Cowboys on Sunday night. What jumps off the screen at you, Brady, in the NFL this week?
Well, a couple. I was surprised by the Charger line. I made the Chargers a 1-point favorite, and when I run all the stats, I actually come out with the Broncos as a favorite. So that one was surprising to me. Those are a couple of teams going in opposite directions as of late. The Chargers have really been sliding, especially defensively. I was surprised to see the Niners as an underdog. As bad as they are, I know that. I made them a short road favorite. I thought they would be a favorite in that game against Miami. And the Commanders and the Eagles. You know, the Eagles are getting a lot of love these days, and everybody wants to say Detroit's done. They've got too many injuries. The Eagles are going to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. Not so fast is what I say. I think they're going to lose outright this week. I've already bet the Washington Commanders catching 3.5. Dan Quinn is an absolute master at in-division games. He's been that way when he was at Atlanta. He's been that way when he was the defensive coordinator at Dallas. And, oh, by the way, his offensive coordinator, Cliff Kingsbury, when he was the head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, 7-0 against the spread against the NFC East. These guys know familiar opponents as good as anybody in the league. It's also same-season revenge. So I think Washington's defense has been improving a lot as of late. I think they're going to keep this one tight with Philly and have a good chance to win. The Falcons, they shouldn't be. I don't care who's at quarterback. How are they 9-10-point favorites over anybody? I've seen it come down to 8. I'm not exactly sprinting to the window to bet the Giants, but still, that one seems way out of whack to me. You're right about the Chiefs. Obviously, that was, speculation that Mahomes was not going to play. Now the line is flipped as if he is going to play. I still, not barring adjusting what have you for injury, I still made the Chiefs a very short favorite here, like 1.5. So 3.5, 4. I'd probably still take the dog here, guys.
Might be an overreaction, actually, now. You're right. It's funny, when it was Wentz earlier in the week and it was 2.5 for the Texans, I said, hey, don't dismiss KC's defense. They could grind out a win anyways. But it's like a big overreaction now. Oh, Mahomes is playing. And as you stated, they're not exactly a covering machine, the Kansas City Chiefs. Cam Seahawks against the Minnesota Vikings. That was a disaster for the Seahawks on Sunday night against the Green Bay Packers. This Viking team now controls their own destiny. As you stated, Brady, people are like, all right, Detroit's injuries catching up to them. People want to give the NFC Conference trophy to the Eagles right now. But it's actually the Minnesota Vikings. If the Vikings win out, they will be the 1 seed in the NFC. Going into Seattle, Cam, are your Seahawks going to bounce back against the Minnesota Vikings? The Vikings are 3-point favorites.
I think they will, and I think the line tells you that. And I'm going to tell you, everybody and their mother, like, I know I did the show with Pizzola and Mayo, Gabe. They're laughing, oh, the Seahawks suck or whatever. I'm like, okay, sure, like whatever. They played bad last week against the Packers. Big deal. It's a week-to-week league. Geno Smith's fired up. He wants to play. That was a bad performance last week. But you know what? Sam Darnold's due to make some mistakes in that game, too. The Bears moved up and down the field, Gabe. We were doing the game. An offensive lineman is
they're 11-2, bro. People keep waiting for the Sam Darnold to implode.
Yeah,
I agree with you, Cam. I think it's a tough spot. Minnesota's been, just getting home cooking. I think it's 3 weeks in a row they've been at home. Now they're going to go on the road. Tough spot to play. I think this could be a stub your toe spot for Minnesota.
And I like watching it too, Brady. We're in the same games.
It is a weird situation. It's never good to go on the road, especially in the Pacific Northwest after you played on Monday Night Football.
Good call,
but the Vikings are the real deal.
There's a better chance the Raiders might stumble into a win because of who they're playing over the next few weeks than the Giants, who I don't think will win.
I don't believe for 1 minute that they want to win a game. I do not believe that the New York Football Giants want to win a game at all, because it will cost them dearly. In fact, they will continue to suck for years to come if they screw this up.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With 2 former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. The Wicked Wednesday continues. Carter Mack's going to step up and in a couple of minutes. Ian Cameron and Carter and Ian are actually buddies. They do a lot of stuff together. So we got a double dose. Carter and Babano coming up a little bit later on. Panthers up on the Wild. The second period has just started. 2-1 for the Florida Panthers. the Canucks and Utah, scoreless after the first period of play. And same thing with Winnipeg and the Anaheim Ducks. College basketball, a lot of stuff going on in college basketball. And Alabama hanging on against North Dakota right now, 91-88 with 20 seconds left in that game. Marquette are up 70-59 on Butler right now. 4 minutes remaining in that basketball game. And like I said, the Michigan Wolverines have been teetering along the point spread all night long. They're up by 4 right now, 70-66. This game is sailing over the number. Total was 149, Oklahoma, Michigan. In-game total is currently 171.5. 70-66, still 7.5 minutes left. As far as late night basketball, we got an Apple Cup matchup. Washington State and Washington. No longer conference rivals, but still playing each other. Washington State getting 2.5 in Seattle against the Washington Huskies. The Huskies are minus 145, and Gonzaga are absolutely destroying Nicholls State. NBA basketball. We got NBA basketball going on as well this evening. But it's funny. I'm looking at the sports book right now, and they have college basketball listed ahead of the NBA. Like the NBA is taking a hit so far this year. But I'm all in on this LA Bowl right now, Cam, and I'm on UNLV on the money line. I got the over 45 in the football game. I like the pace. I like the way that it started, but it has slowed down. The total right now is 49.5. UNLV are right where they started, guys, minus 160 on the money line. Cal is plus 130. Who do you have in this game in the second half?
I have the same as you, Gabe. I have UNLV. I bet them when they were down to Cal, and I took them as a pick'em, and I like the over in this football game as well. I know a lot of people like the under, but I think we can get points in this football game. I agree with you. I think we can hit it here, and I like the Rebels to win this game. I'm not sure if they're going to win by, margin, but I like UNLV. I got them at a straight pick, but I think they win this football game, and I like points as well.
Speaking of points, too, so the NBA back tonight/tomorrow, whatever, depending where you are. But the Toronto Raptors, favorites for the first time this year, which is pretty crazy that we played this long into the season. The Toronto Raptors have never been favorites once this year, and they're 4-point favorites tomorrow night against the visiting Brooklyn Nets in Toronto. Total 219. It's the Tankathon matchup. A couple of interesting NBA games tomorrow. The Knicks at Minnesota. And, of course, this is a special game because of the deal and the trade that was made between these two teams. So that'll be the storyline tomorrow night / whatever. And as far as the NBA ratings are concerned, everybody's this and that and whatever, man. Nobody ever pays attention to the NBA until after Christmas anyways. And not to make excuses because the NBA do have some issues to deal with. But as a whole, they dealt with a very popular baseball playoffs this year, right? You had the New York Mets, the New York Yankees, the LA Dodgers. Like it was like the most viewed World Series in a long time. You had an election this year. A lot of leagues, like everybody except the NFL, are vulnerable to this stuff, right? And the NBA got hit by the election. They got hit by the World Series. They're getting hit hard by college football. You got college football playoffs now. Why would anybody care? Like, it's not like it's anything even negative about the NBA, but why would anyone care about the Denver Nuggets and the Portland Trailblazers when you got Indiana and Notre Dame playing in a college football playoff game, right? Once football is done, people will start watching the NBA and they'll start caring more, and the NBA will have its whatever. The NBA will have the center stage in the sports world from basically the day after the Super Bowl until football starts again, and then baseball, whatever, right? So all the sky is falling stuff on the NBA. Very, very premature. Chill out. Everything will even itself out. Doesn't mean that the new All-Star format doesn't suck, but whatever, At this point, all these All-Star games are brutal anyway, so why am I going to get upset about it at this point in time? But as I stated, the NBA is done, and why are ratings down? Because nobody ever cared until Christmas time.
there's a better chance the Raiders might stumble into a win because of who they're playing over the next few weeks than the Giants, who I don't think will win.
I don't believe for 1 minute that they want to win a game. I do not believe that the New York Football Giants want to win a game at all because it will cost them dearly. In fact, they will continue to suck for years to come if they screw this up.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circus Sports Million, Circus Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, let's roll. Getting ready for the second half of the LA Bowl, obviously in Los Angeles, California. And it's a 14-13 game at the half. We got hockey going on right now as we speak. College basketball, like I said earlier, college basketball this season's been great so far this year. A lot of competitive non-conference matchups, big-time teams playing against each other, including Michigan and Oklahoma. And I've been worried about this. Michigan had been up by 5 like all freaking night, and it never pulled away. And now Oklahoma have taken a 76-74 lead on the Michigan Wolverines with 5.5 minutes left in this game. So as I stated, we got some big-time games going on, and the second half is getting ready for kickoff in L.A. Let's bring in Connor Mack. And I said earlier, we got Ian Cameron Babano on after. And I know you do a show with him. What's going on, Connor? How you doing?
I'm good. Glad to be joining you guys. Gabe, Cam, what's up?
Connor?
How we doing, fellas?
Pretty good. All right. What do you think of the second half here of this, the LA Bowl here right now? I don't know if you bet this game before the game started, but what do you think of the second half?
I think UNLV pulls away. This game's pretty tight. You know, when we broke it down earlier in the, 9 days ago, I thought this was kind of Cal. Odom leaves, and then they signed Mullen. It seems like a lot of kids staying. No one, is leaving. This moves all the way to 3.5. And I still think they win. I just don't, like I didn't earlier, I didn't lay the 3.5. I did have a prop in this game. I did have the running back Thomas over 54.5 rushing yards. I have to double check where he's at here at halftime. But I thought that was a low number. Even though Cal was pretty good against the run, I think he gets that later tonight. But I have to check those numbers.
I've got some props rocking in this game. Thing with UNLV is they have the bigger play capability than Cal does. Like, look, the second half has started here. Cal wants to run the ball. They're trying to play smash mouth, and their quarterback kind of takes off every now and then. UNLV have the big play capability, but what's wild, UNLV lost their offensive coordinator yesterday, so they're basically running a script here. Like, they're calling plays, but they're all kind of pre-planned and pre-called. If you can, Connor, stop moving around so much. Like I'm just gonna.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're
kind of noisy here, bro. Like seriously. Like,
I was wondering. I'm like, oh, you got a vacuum cleaner going, Gabe? He's got something going on there. Connor's
I'm
looking
just
at the
trying
bar.
to look at the games, like look at the score, to pull it up because we're talking about it, and I didn't have it
I
pulled
love
up.
you, Morency. I didn't know what it was. I'm like, what the hell's going on there? It sounds like somebody's banging my wall. It's like,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I
I can mute it.
Yeah.
Even.
You're getting into George Kurtz territory. But as I was, Kurtz and his noises during the commercial breaks, like he's juggling balls and knocking things over. But as I was saying, they're running a script because they said, all right, who's going to call the plays? You guys don't have, you know what I mean? They just lost their coordinator like last night. And I like their answer. They were honest. They basically said, we're going to run the same damn plays around all year. We have a book, and it's a script. They said, we're going to run the script, and if we have to deviate it, we'll come up with it when it starts. So far, so good. It's kind of worked out for them. They've had some big plays tonight, but it should be a fun second half. All right, as long as we're on college football, what do you like about the college football playoffs? Which game do you like the most, Connor, out of the 4 college football playoff games this weekend?
Ooh, that's tough. You know what the game not the bet, I think, is going to be Clemson. I love that team total. I love the full game under and their team total under. How about Indiana, Notre Dame? I think that Friday night, that's got to be, the best game that I look forward to. Both those teams just been so good, fishing on offense, fishing on defense. The numbers have been unbelievable all year long. As we saw, I think Indiana kind of learned how they lost, earlier in the year, getting their ass kicked against Ohio State. I think they come to play a lot better. People talk about how weak both these schedules were. I think they were. I thought, they talked about Indiana didn't play anybody. Either did Notre Dame at all. So I think this game's close. I took the 7.5 with Indiana. I love Signetti. I wasn't on this Indiana team a ton. Talk about Babano. He was on them all year long doing the show with it. We do the books. I was on him a few times, faded him against Ohio State, but I think there's value with him with the 7.5 here.
I think Babano was on him early because of Nate Rourke's brother. Right? People that follow the CFL know about Curtis Rourke. He's not going to be playing in the CFL after, but he was like the number 1 pick. He's going to be the number 1 pick in the CFL draft. People will just hope for the best. But this kid has played himself into like a 3rd-round pick in the NFL. It's a massive showcase for him. We'll see. You know what? You're right. I think Indiana actually played a tougher schedule than Notre Dame did. Right? Indiana didn't play. Indiana played Ohio State. They played Michigan. Notre Dame played USC. Right? They played Army. They played Navy. Like USC is kind of like their feather and one of the feather in the cap wins. But the thing with Notre Dame is they did smoke people. I'm leading Notre Dame in that game. I like the over personally. I think there's going to be points scored. It'll be cold, but I don't think it'll affect either team. They practice and play in this stuff. But I think it could affect SMU, Connor, against Penn State. SMU not used to cold weather, and it is going to be cold in Happy Valley on Saturday.
Ooh, it's going to be cold. I think, too, if you like Penn State, it's tough because I'm the biggest anti-Franklin because he hasn't won anything. I mean, you guys want your money on James Franklin? Really? But in this game, I think it's gettable. Cold weather at maybe at least early first half. I could look at it. And then if you don't want to lay the 8.5, I think it's tempting that team total. I think Penn State could it's right around 30.5. I think they could get there in this game. I think SMU, though, is going to be pumped, but I don't know if it'd be enough that they got into this. They're, after that great second half, if they were just 2 different teams, that first half of that game against Clemson was just unreal, whether it was the turnovers. And then one was on the refs. That was not roughing the passer at all. That was tough. That was a tough call in that game. They get all the way down and then, come back all the way then just to lose. But I think the one thing, SMU's defense has been good all year, but I still think Penn State wins this football game in the end and kind of will be big for Franklin. But how big will this be? I think it gets them in the next round, which could put – and that game is, by the way, you guys know, it's Boise State, right? winner of that one?
Yeah, and no, you're right. The thing is, it's kind of weird for Franklin. He can't win in this situation. If he wins this game, like people are expecting them to win this game, and then you better go deeper. It's almost like Ryan Day. Ryan Day could beat Tennessee. They're not going to be happy suddenly because they beat Tennessee. There's still 3 more games to go. It's the one thing. There's a lot of freaking games for these playoff teams to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got this opening round, Cam. It used to just be whatever. You played a semifinal and the final, right? There was 4. Now you got to play 4 games.
Game.
Some teams are playing 3 games, right?
And I love
the
Arizona
teams in the bye.
State. Nice win against Iowa State, but getting a bye, and you brought up a great point. That's ridiculous, Morency. This system needs to be like rearranged or whatever. You're a team that, like, yeah, big deal. Like it's nuts.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Anyway,
if you win your conference, fine, put you in the playoffs, Cam. It doesn't mean you get a top seed.
You get a bye, exactly.
It's almost like those pro leagues. It's stupid, like the NHL does it. Oh, you won your division, so you're top 3. You see, a wild card team has more points than you do.
Exactly.
Right? It's sort of the same. Doesn't make sense. I don't know, dude. It's like they threw this format together, like with the NHL at the brass rail, like on a napkin. They're like, all right, 4 teams will get a bye. And they'll be like, yeah, but we got 5. Like, like, it doesn't. Listen, they're gonna go. It's only next year's the last year in this format, and then in 2 years they'll end up going to 16 after the fact. All right, so the second half has started here. UNLV and Cal. UNLV with the football, pretty good field position.
There's a better chance the Raiders might stumble into a win because of who they're playing over the next few weeks than the Giants, who I don't think will win.
I don't believe for 1 minute that they want to win a game. I do not believe that the New York Football Giants want to win a game at all because it will cost them dearly. In fact, they will continue to suck for years to come if they screw this up.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
The 2 guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With 2 former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency, Sirius XM Channel 159. So this game is slowing down. The second half has started. We're only 3 minutes in, but UNLV moved the football a bit, but they ended up punting. They nearly got it pinned at the 1, but it got rolled into the end zone. So no, Cal with the football in a 14-13 football game. In-game total is 50.5. So the odds, the computer is still expecting points here in the second half of this football game. I think there'll be a couple of big plays to come But this is definitely a toss-up of a game. The Cal quarterback's a good athlete. Like, he just took off and picked up like 16. So we'll see if they're able to finish the drive or they kick the field goal. All right, we got Connor Mack in the house with us. His boy Babano's going to join us in a couple of minutes. Looking at the college football playoffs. You know, these games, we're talking about SMU going into in a Happy Valley. I think it's going to be a problem for them, man. Just, you know, being on the road in this environment, early in the day, bad weather. Penn State's, you know, have much better athletes than they do. You could talk about Franklin not being able to beat Michigan or Ohio State. They played really well against Oregon, even though they lost. And SMU is not going to have an answer for Ty Warren. Like, they're not going to be able to stop that kid. I think Penn State will roll them, and I think the game will go over because Penn State, like you said, Connor, they're going to score a ton of points.
Look at, and I think early first half, they've been just one of those teams you talked about, other than Michigan, Ohio State, like even mid-tier teams, Penn State's took care of business. And that cold, it's an early start time. The place should just be raucous, of course, there in Happy Valley. I love it. I love the play.
Yeah, place, and you know what? That's a place. It really is in the middle of nowhere. I'd like to get Sharapound on actually before the end of the week. Yeah. He could describe how like remote it is. It really is, Cam. It's like Amish country, bro. Like there's buggies and stuff. Like they're in the mountains of Pennsylvania.
I love it, Amish country.
There's like one hotel. No, it's like really. Yeah. It's like there's, you know what I mean. There's like one hotel. There's not a lot of like It's not a big place, and it's cold as hell up there. I just think SMU are going to be in some trouble. But with that being stated, I think Tennessee's a different issue, Connor. Tennessee are used to playing in big games. Tennessee are used to playing in big-time stadiums. Not that every team isn't, but SMU aren't used to this type of level of stuff. Tennessee rolling into Columbus. Some teams would get a little freaked out on a Saturday night. Whatever, dude. Tennessee had played at Alabama on Saturday nights, and they played Georgia and blah, blah. They played in big-time games and big-time stadiums with high stakes before. I think the Vols will be fine at Columbus.
I do too. You know what I like them? It is early. I think this Ohio State team has just been, they have not woken up game after game, whether they played Akron, Northwestern, all
they
these
only
teams.
averaged 6 points a game in the first quarter, actually. To be
true game. Like,
6.8.
They've had so many 12 o'clock starts, and it's a great point by you guys. These guys don't score. And me and Marinari take them in the first quarter, like every time we're doing the 12 o'clock game, and it's like clockwork. It doesn't matter if they're playing good team, bad team, crap team. Indiana had a lead on them. They came back and smoked them, but they always are notorious slow starters. Gabe, I know you like overs and totals, but this game, I see a lot of defense in this game. I know it's a really low number, but I could see these teams kind of butting heads for a while. Tennessee might be live. I agree with you, Morency.
What do you think of the total, Connor? I think it's too low, though. I hear what you're saying. I don't think it's a track meet game, guys, but like I said last night, 24-23 is a push. That's pretty low scoring for a college football game. There's going to be some points in this game. What do you think, Connor?
I think so, too. That's like, as much as I love the under we're getting that in the other game and the Clemson team total under, this is low. Like you just talked about, 24-23 is a push, and there's 46.5s, you know, that I've seen pop up today. So this could go maybe even lower how cold it is. So as a guy who tries to get on an under when I think I love two defenses, and I do love these defenses, I don't know if I get there in the end. I think I'm going to have to pass on this total because I just think this could get over the number. Maybe not by a ton, but just sneak over it. But I definitely like that Tennessee early and often.
You know, for me, guys, and I'm an over-better when it comes to college football, but the one game that I look at that I'm like, you know, I think the Notre Dame-Indiana game will get there. It'll be like, you know, 34-23 or something like that. It'll get into the mid-50s. SMU, Penn State, 54. I think it can get there because I think Penn State can drop like 40 on them. Tennessee, Ohio State, I think, and you're right, I see a 46.5 now. They can get 24-23, wins me that bet. That's a manageable number. The one game that I could see not a track meet, Clemson and Texas. Texas don't want to play a track meet, neither do Clemson. There's going to be a lot of smash-mouth football in this game. They both have elite defenses. Dabo Sweeney is super conservative. He's not going to do anything stupid early. It's not like Dabo's Dan Campbell, Cam. He's not running fake punts from his 30 and stuff.
No,
He's going to play very close to the vest. And and Texas, quite frankly, don't really have the explosiveness to, they only score 27 points a game, Texas, against real teams. So, this is the one I think, Connor, that, wouldn't surprise me if this one was 23-20 or something like that. I'm not running to the window to bet the under, but I don't like the over either in this one.
I do. I'm going to get there. The one thing where Texas, it's continued to cash for me all year long. It's kind of like Ole Miss, strangely, the weirdest Ole Miss team. No, I couldn't remember the last time I was taking unders in Ole Miss, and it cashed just all year long. I mean, I think it was, 1-10, flip it, of course, 10-1. But this season, defense, whether it was Florida scored 17, Arkansas 10. None of these teams really got to 20. Georgia was it, and they got there last week. I think just the game went to OT, and of course, Texas shot themselves in the foot. They're not converting. That's another thing. This team, driving down there, that was tough to watch. Just 2 field goals, 2 misses. I mean, not to score in the red zone is going to be bad for them. And this Clemson defense.
They do this often. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I like the under in this game. Like I said, I haven't pulled the trigger on it, but they're both big-time under teams on the year, too. Clemson, 8-4 to the under on the season. Texas, 8-4-1 to the under on the season. Both big-time under teams, both run the ball, both elite defenses. Like I said, it's a slower total, for a college game. I get it even at 51.5, but I wouldn't be surprised if this was the low-scoring, 13-10 game.
There's a better chance the Raiders might stumble into a win because of who they're playing over the next few weeks than the Giants, who I don't think will win.
I don't believe for 1 minute that they want to win a game. I do not believe that the New York Football Giants want to win a game at all, because it will cost them dearly. In fact, they will continue to suck for years to come if they screw this up.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
The 2 guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With 2 former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, let's roll. This is SportsRage. Level 2 continues. Tomorrow night, we're on at 8 o'clock Eastern Time for the Chargers and the Denver Bronco game. SiriusXM Channel 159, SportsGrid on demand on YouTube. 3-1, the Florida Panthers have scored again. 3-1 for the Panthers over the Wild right now. Still scoreless in Salt Lake in the altitude. Vancouver and Utah scoreless right now. 8 minutes left in the second period, and the Jets and Ducks are tied at 1. All right, we'll get Connor Mack out here. Connor, give us one NFL game you like, and then we'll get you out of here. We're going to bring your boy Babano in.
Woo! I had a couple. Let's just go to Thursday night. We'll go to this total. I'm going under here. Flat out. I know Chargers have been beat up. I think they play a lot better. Of course, Hart, they got a few DBs out. This game was 37, a month ago? 42 now. Broncos, a top-notch defense. I think this Chargers team is struggling. So we saw how bad that second half was. All the injuries at wideout, receiver. This is a dead under to me. So I'm on the under here. Thursday night, short week. Chargers play a little bit better at home.
I hate unders, but I said the same thing earlier in the week. I said Harbaugh is going to really try to slow this game down. It's going to be a smash-mouth game. Denver's defense is good. The Chargers' offense is stuck in neutral right now. They're going backwards. I was surprised, Cam, the Chargers are 3-point favorites in this game. It's down to 2.5. Everybody's on Denver in this spot. I don't want to say it's a meaningless game, but also it's not like some massive game for them. You know what? It is. I can't say that because you have new coaches. Denver haven't made the playoffs in 9 years, so it's big for them. I get it. And the Chargers, hell of a season under Harbaugh. But where I'm going with this is they're both making the playoffs. Everybody, you know what I mean? They're making the playoffs. We know they're making the playoffs. So
yeah,
they're basically playing not to play the Buffalo Bills. Like basically the 7 seed will go to Buffalo and the 6 seed will go to Pittsburgh. That and or Baltimore potentially.
Great call, and you guys know they can't screw around with Herbert. If Easton Stick's not going to get you there. Like this guy's got a high ankle sprain. You can tell he's obviously hurt. He's had other injuries. So, Gabe, Harbaugh will want to slow it down. You know him from Michigan. That's the whole thing. So this total, it seems light at 42.5 with the way things are going. But you know what? The Chargers, for them to be successful, they can't get into a shootout with Denver. They want to keep it real nice and boring. So I kind of agree with you, Connor.
All right, Connor, where can people find you online?
Just check me out, Connor Mack Picks on all the socials, and check us out, Hitting the Books, college football, me and Babano is coming right up. A lot more college basketball coming our way too shortly. As bowls end up stopping, we'll start up real heavy college basketball in January. Thanks for having me, boys.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Conference play. Yeah, it's been a great season, college basketball. Very entertaining. Great games, like I said, great tournaments, non-conference matchups. Going on. And thanks, Connor. We'll do it again. And speaking of college basketball, actually, Doug Gottlieb got into it with Adam Schefter. I wanted to get this. I was going to do a best of X, but we had a lot of stuff going on. But it's just too funny that Adam Schefter, tweeted out that Sacramento State had $50 million raised in NIL money. And a lot of people raised their eyebrows and said, well, like, how the hell does no, they don't. Sacramento State don't have $50 million in NIL money. And it's kind of deceptive. They kind of do and they don't. Sacramento State set a goal of raising $50 million to upgrade a football stadium, get NIL money, and get into the Mountain West or the new Pac-12. And they actually accomplished the goal. One donor gave $35 million. So they got their goal, but they don't have like $50 million NIL money. They raised $50 million for the program. But Doug Gottlieb, who was a longtime talk show host and now the head coach of Green Bay basketball, and I said at the time it's the stupidest hire in the history of sport, tweeted at Adam Schefter and said, geez, Schefter, you might think about editing the propaganda that agents tell you to post. Which I don't think he was wrong about, actually. But then, so secondly, Schefter came down from the top rope and said, geez, Dougie, you're on a 7-game losing streak and in last place in a Horizon League. Less time tweeting me, more time in the gym.
You can't play with Wright State
won.
in Cleveland. Yes, I love that.
So Schefter won. So yeah, they're like they're 2-10, coming in 2-11, whatever. So today they played Michigan Tech, and it wasn't even a sanctioned game. Like it was an exhibition game. Like it doesn't count against the record actually. And Gottlieb talked about like how not wanting to play them because they're so bad. Michigan Tech beat Gottlieb and Green Bay today.
there's a better chance the Raiders might stumble into a win because of who they're playing over the next few weeks than the Giants, who I don't think will win.
I don't believe for 1 minute that they want to win a game. I do not believe that the New York Football Giants want to win a game at all because it will cost them dearly. In fact, they will continue to suck for years to come if they screw this up.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circus Sports Million, Circus Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With two former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The Wicked Wednesday continues. This is SportsRage. I am Morency. So this college football game has slowed down for real. 14-13. The defenses are stepping up. Nobody has scored in the third quarter of play, so we're stuck on 27 right now. Thanks to Connor Mack for joining us on the program. And as we were stated, so yeah, Michigan Tech beat Green Bay today, which I don't know what the hell the Green Bay basketball program is thinking. In hiring Doug Gottlieb, but they kind of get what they deserve. But speaking of Michigan basketball, the Michigan Wolverines have lost to the Oklahoma Sooners, 87-86. Michigan had the lead with a couple of seconds left. Oklahoma comes back and squeaks out a 1-point win. All this is good, though, whatever. Battle-tested and play good teams and all that. Big-time win for the Sooners, 87-86 comeback win for the Oklahoma Sooners. Meanwhile, the art of sport. I don't know what the hell that means. Art of Sport LA Bowl. I thought it was the LA Bowl, but whatever.
Presented by Gronk.
Whatever.
No, whatever. No, I thought it was the LA Bowl by Gronk. I thought it was Gronk's bowl game.
What is this?
You know what?
This was body wash and shampoo. Is that what it is? Body care for athletes.
Art
I
of
didn't
sport.
realize that. Yeah. It's a grooming product. Yeah. Body wash and shampoo for athletes. Just found out.
I just realized
Scooter's coffee last night. I never heard of that before either. I've never heard of this stuff.
Yeah, it's in the States.
The Scooters coffee trophy was pretty nice. This used to be the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl. It was the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl, and then it became the LA Bowl. But now they got Gronk. It's like celebrities. Like Snoop Dogg's got his own bowl game now this year coming up. I think his one's the. He doesn't have good teams in it, but I think it's the Arizona Bowl. It was the Arizona Bowl. Now it's the Snoop. I think what's his.
Barstool used to have the Arizona Bowl, so it's gone to Snoop Dogg now.
Yeah, I think his gin. I think it's the Snoop Dogg and Gin and Tonic Bowl or something, like whatever. Like
that's like the Tanqueray gin bowl with Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. We're gonna have a time one day where it's gonna be
wine,
weed. It's gonna be the Marshawn Lynch Weed Bowl, and they're gonna be like, sponsored by Marshawn Lynch's 8 balls of weed in a dispensary.
Arizona Bowl by Gin and Juice.
That's what it is. See, what is it? Yeah, Gin and Juice Bowl. That's a great one. The Gin and Juice Bowl.
Yeah, I like
Dogg
to
Arizona.
my Tanqueray, the finest of
Yeah.
gins. I will say this. I'm going to tell you, Gabe. Like, I don't know what the hell's going on. I tried Snoop Dogg's wine. Lisa bought it for me. It's got like 70 grams. It's like literally like I'm like, whoa, man, that stuff's hits you. Like
Snoop Dogg's got more products than Kiss does. This guy's going to sell Snoop Dogg caskets soon.
Snoop Dogg caskets.
Kiss sell caskets, actually.
Yeah,
You're going to get buried in a Kiss casket.
Well, this stuff's expensive. Art of Sports men's antiperspirant deodorant on Amazon, $27.99. What am I getting? I can just go get some Degree or Right Guard for $2.99. That's pretty expensive. Just saying. Man, $27.
Not everybody's there's some people who like high-end products, Cam, in this world.
That's true, and I'm not one of them, Gabe.
Not you, no. Which is surprising.
You're missing your audience.
Yes. You watching golf does nothing for the PGA. You don't buy any of their products. You don't buy any Lexuses, BMWs. You don't invest in their stocks. You don't have a Goldman Sachs account. If they met you, they'd be like, "Hey, whatever. You do nothing for us."
I do absolutely nothing for the PGA Tour. They should, if they were sponsored by Golden Corral or some, buffet. Sure, but you're right. I don't buy any of their products. I have no money.
These bowl games, though, they're not it doesn't cost as much as people would imagine to become a sponsor of some of these things. That's why, there's different sponsors every couple of years because people spend money on it and realize we didn't really get anything back in return for putting our name on this thing. But I do like this bowl game. Nice fields, L.A., cool place. The kids like going there. They went to Universal Studios and they did all the tourist type stuff. They took them around, which is actually a distraction for these players. Actually, people got to remember that. Who are you on in this game, Babano? UNLV or Cal?
You know, it's funny. This game was really a tough one for me because I liked Cal initially. I got off the Cal side and bet UNLV when I heard Mendoza was in the transfer portal. They had some O-line injuries. There was some concern that UNLV's a little more interested and excited, even though they saw Barry Odom depart for Purdue as head coach. So it was a lot of moving parts. I ended up just going with a small bet on the over once it dropped to 45.5, and that's about it for me here.
I'm telling you, a lot of this transfer stuff, that's a live ball.
Yeah, that's UNLV football.
UNLV gets it. Well, all right. Maybe this will open things up a little bit. But Cam, it's a lot like remember, Cam, it was like COVID when people got carried away all the time. They're like, "Oh, Boise missing 19 players with COVID today," and then they would win 57-0 anyways. Or people would think this team is not going to do this, and no team, if you'll notice. There really hasn't been any blowouts in these bowl games. I know we're early in the process right now, but the Saturday night USA, Western Michigan game, that really wasn't too many kids didn't transfer and stuff like that, but it was a close football game. Today, Western Kentucky, whatever, they got 27 players leaving. Their quarterback was there. That was a heartbreaker. I was on Western Kentucky plus the 7. That was so frustrating. It was just like the Western Michigan USA game, where if you were on the dog, like Western Michigan were covering until it was like 2 minutes left and South Alabama scored. And it was the same thing like today, man. It was the game was tied.
They came back. That was a great game.
Yeah, West Virginia came back. They're another one. Yeah, their coach left. They didn't have their their quarterback was in and out. They didn't have this guy and that guy. And look, they ended up hanging around and winning the game. Touchdown UNLV.
Down UNLV. Go Rebels. Go Rebs. Let's go.
Another thing you'll notice, and I got to give up on a lot of these touchdown score props. I've hit one touchdown score in these bowl games, the first touchdown score. But you'll notice, too, dude, this kid never scores. There's all kinds of people like today, Babano, if you're watching that bowl game earlier today with James Madison, the kid that caught the winning touchdown, they're like, and it's his first catch of the year.
Exactly.
He scores the winning touchdown. He didn't play. Right? You didn't play him. The other kids left. You got a chance to play, and boom, he caught it. And they're like, he only had one catch all year, and that's his first touchdown catch of the year. I was like, well, he was wide open. He caught the ball, and he won the game.
It's a great point.
Yeah.
No, look, West Virginia's like, oh, Donaldson. There's like fourth or whatever. Donaldson, crud, bam, bam. Like, that's the thing. Don't fall for like the traps with these like top guys. A lot of different guys are getting opportunities in these bowl games. Remember, it's an audition for some people. New guys.
No, we can't blanket coverage it because, like Babano said, Cam, and it's true, Babano. Like Mendoza's a good quarterback, right? He carried his team a lot, and they lost their wide receiver. What was it? Hunter went along with them. And he left too at the same time. I don't know if they're staying together or whatever, but so you knew it was going to impact them. But we saw it today. Like I said, dude, the kid today, there was a quarterback that played earlier today. It was his first ever start. He looked pretty damn good, right? I mean, this kid on Cal too has been making plays, even though his first start. Yeah, the Atkins kid today. Yeah, I bet his under 157.5. I lost. Yeah, he was completing passes.
He's good,
right? He got going. All these kids care, whatever. It's all entertainment. People every year is the same thing. Oh, there's the bowls and this and that. And every year people get entertained by them. So 21-13 right now. Our boy Greg Frank in Master Control has the under in this game, and I'm really hoping he loses game. I wish him no luck in this game. Well, you heard me. Like I said, let's go, eat some points. I heard in my headset, I'm on the under.
Yeah.
Like,
I love Greg. He's
I'm on the under.
Like, listen, Morency, you're great, but I got the under in this UNLV game here. I love Frank. Yeah, he's very frank in his assessments. And
we're getting close. It's right on the pace. Yeah. We're at 34 right now. Right. 34.
Agreed. Great game. Excellent.
2 touchdowns will get this game over the number. A lot of people like the under in this game due to the circumstances, the situations. All right, we'll hit we'll get Babano's college football playoff thought games. Hit some of these bowl games. Got Georgia Southern and South Houston, Sam Houston State tomorrow. Dear God.
Oh, God. Help me.
That's at the same time as the NFL game.
There's a better chance the Raiders might stumble into a win because of who they're playing over the next few weeks than the Giants, who I don't think will win.
I don't believe for 1 minute that they want to win a game. I do not believe that the New York Football Giants want to win a game at all, because it will cost them dearly. In fact, they will continue to suck for years to come if they screw this up.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
The 2 guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With 2 former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency, the pistol players, the hustlers, the people, the busters, and everybody else in between. All right, the end of the third quarter just came, and I always like finding out what the sponsors are. And Cam just informed us it was it's like a body wash and stuff. Body wash. Although I don't think Babano spends $27 on deodorant and body wash. What's tomorrow?
Soap for shower, Gabe. He's Paul. That was the best thing you told me too.
Paul Olive.
Yes, exactly.
One-stop shop, exactly. It's the Martha Stewart tip.
Yes, exactly. It's actually it works. It works. It's a good call. You reminded me of that.
Martha Stewart, once said, she goes, yeah, all these soaps are a scam. She goes, buy Palmolive. She goes, you can wash your dishes, you can do your laundry, you could take a shower with it. And
it's
she went off
true.
like it was like Martha Stewart's household tips.
Think about
Martha's on top of things.
Detergent costs $20. You get a thing of Palmolive. One drop does as much. And then the only key to make your laundry fresher is the fabric softener, the sheets or the liquid. So she's absolutely correct. Anyway, we'll do this another day. I'll give you some hot tips, Morency, for cheapskates. I'll do a segment. Tips for cheapskates. Yeah.
So looking at these bowl games, you know what's crazy? I'm looking. I'm a big college football. I'm a big sports historian. And I always love the history of this stuff. I tweeted this out the other day. The Liberty Bowl was once played in Atlantic City indoors in 1964. It's actually the first ever indoor football game. Like that's just some whacked out stuff. But I've always wondered. I thought about it once a couple of years ago. It's like, you got Army, you got Navy, you got Air Force, you got the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard actually used to play in bowl games, Cam. The Coast Guard won like the 1951 Tangerine Bowl. like it was like, think about that. Like Army, Navy, Air Force, Coast Guard. And the Coast Guard had a football team, and they were good. They ran the table. They didn't last long though. I don't know. I think they stopped playing in the mid 50s type of deal, but it's pretty whacked out. If you look at the past, like bowl history of games, like there used to be a bowl game, the Cigar Bowl. Like there used to be some whacked out names actually. They would be like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Like you never would have thought that we'd have the Snoop Dogg Gin and Juice Bowl, but you got to love it. The modern era that we're in right now. Like I said, there's going to be weed sponsoring a bowl one day.
Oh, big time, big time. I just want to say this. There's 4 branches of the military. Army, team. Navy, team. Air Force, team. Marines has no team. As you talk about Coast Guard, I've always thought Marines are the best of the best of the best, but they don't have a team, maybe because they're the guys in combat overseas and doing like crazy missions.
They come from the Army, I think. And it's like the Marines. It's a different... Oh, I thought, if you really want to get into the different branches of the military, like you said, Navy, Army, Air Force, Space Force.
Space
I'm not kidding. Okay. Space Force. No, I'm dead serious.
Space Force? Oh, who's Space Force?
Hey, if you see some of the stuff going on beyond planet Earth, you understand why there's a Space Force these days.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like future wars are fought from space cam. Like there's satellites and lasers, and you can debilitize a country with a push of a button from a satellite in space. Literally and figuratively, that's what they call it. There's literally, I'm not making it up. I know they could have come up with a more serious name, but yeah, it's called the Space Force. They're way behind. Like China is going to win the future because they're already up there. Like they've spent they're like, I'm dead serious. So I was going to say that. So I got maybe in like 30 years we'll have in a Space Force are getting 14 against James Madison in a bowl game.
I'd like that. Space Force.
I never would have thought Cal Baptist would be playing basketball either, but here we are. So I'm looking for some of the sponsor names here of the bowl games. I like the gin and juice one, Babano. I'm looking for some of the wilder names. I never know who any of these companies are for the most part.
Remember when we were COVID or whatever was it, Big Ass Fans? They've only lasted a little bit. There was a couple other funny ones that they're gone. Like you're right, they changed the sponsors of these bowl games like literally yearly. It's weird. Who's a repeat sponsor? Not very many.
See, there's all these new ones that are
around again.
Yeah, that's how sad it is, Babano. We're to the point where we think the Pop-Tarts Bowl is a classic bowl.
I know.
The Pop-Tarts Bowl. Yeah, it's been around. I think this is only what is this, the second? This is only the second Pop-Tart Bowl, too.
Wow.
This is the second one. And you know what? The new trophy. Yeah. I wanted to get we got to get this up. It's not now. We're late in time here, but I wanted to get it up. The Pop-Tart trophy this year is an actual toaster.
Well, Armed Forces
really
Bowl's
nice.
Been around for a while. Yeah, Liberty Bowl.
Oh, it's like a gold, like a trophy toaster?
No, it's like a serious nice trophy, Cam. It's really nice. And it has like a Pop-Tart on the bottom of it where you put your team name on the Pop-Tart type thing, like that wins on the bottom. but it's an actual toaster on top. So when you win, you put a couple of Pop-Tarts in it, and you get hot Pop-Tarts. They did it at the press conference, both coaches. You pop out. It's the first ever toaster. This is the era we're in right now.
Yeah, I like
it.
Yeah.
It's very, 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 very nice. Very, very nice.
Oh,
there's all these. I don't know. Like I don't know.
And it's got 2 slots for the Pop-Tarts. You said it, Gabe. This trophy rocks, man. This is a really nice, I want a piece of that trophy. Looks great.
Yeah, but if you're a college kid, too, it's fun after. You guys win the game, you crank some Pop-Tarts out of the trophy after and stuff. And you know what? The Pop-Tarts Bowl is attracting good teams. They got Miami versus Iowa State.
Yep.
That is
one of the better non-playoff games in the Bowls, I think. Yeah.
Cam Ward says he's playing, or at least he hasn't announced he's not yet.
He plans
I don't know why.
on it. He said he plans on it. Yeah.
I wouldn't if I was him.
That's a good over game, by the way. Iowa State will move the ball. Miami will, too.
Mario Cristobal doesn't care about you, bro. Like Hurricane Nation, don't bust you're going to be a top 3 pick in the NFL draft. We're going to play in the freaking Pop-Tart Bowl? Come on. Go sit in stand on the sidelines and eat some Pop-Tarts. Yeah, Shedeur Sanders is playing in the bowl game.
I respect
He's going to be the number 1 pick
said
in
everyone's in for the Colorado Buffaloes, but we'll see closer to kickoff. We'll see if it's really going to be all the starters in.
I think they will, Babano, Colorado, but I think Dion wants to, get up big and pull him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think he'll play all 4 quarters.
There's a better chance the Raiders might stumble into a win because of who they're playing over the next few weeks than the Giants, who I don't think will win.
I don't believe for 1 minute that they want to win a game. I do not believe that the New York Football Giants want to win a game at all because it will cost them dearly. In fact, they will continue to suck for years to come if they screw this up.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
The 2 guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching!
Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this one? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The sharpest football contest show in the land, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show, focuses on Circa Sports Million, Circa Survivor, and the Westgate Super Contest, handicapping the games and releasing our contest picks every week of the season. With 2 former Super Contest winners, Brady Cannon and James Salinas, a former NFL player, Mike Pritchard, and over $1 million in contest prize money won combined, the Las Vegas Football Contest Show will have you prepared this season like none other.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
The UNLV Running Rebels. I'm not going to say they're taking control of the game, but they're up 21-13 right now. 12 minutes left in the 4th quarter, and they have the ball at midfield. They definitely have the momentum in this football game right now. We still need more points. We're only at 34. They're on the 36. Not quite midfield yet, but they are moving the ball. In-game total just fell to 43.5 right now. Cal's offense has sort of hit the wall a little bit, but like I said earlier, UNLV have big play capabilities, and the kid just popped one. So we'll keep her on this, right, Babano? What do you like these college football playoffs? We've got a couple of minutes here. What do you like this weekend? College football playoff games.
So there's a chance, I think, of it being cold, obviously cold, but maybe some snow showers in Notre Dame. I still like the over. I don't think it's going to be that windy. I think Notre Dame's offense is rolling right now. I don't know if Indiana's got the horses to contain them. But I think when you look at Notre Dame's defense, you start to look at some of the better offenses they played. They allowed some points. I still remember the USC game against the Trojans. Notre Dame's defense wasn't great. And I think with the extra time, you're going to see Curtis Rourke and the Hoosiers be able to move the ball as well. So I like that game over the total. I think the side's tough. I think I lean Indiana, but I don't love it. I am worried about, Ohio State deja vu happening to them once again against Notre Dame. The other games, I like SMU. I do. I'm not going to trust James Franklin in a big-time game until I see it for myself. That game's going to be cold, yes, but I do lean to points in the over there. The two unders that I like, the under that I like is Clemson, Texas. I think that game's going under. I don't see Clemson moving the football. I want to lay the points with Texas because I don't see Clemson moving the ball, but I've seen too many stalled drives and red zone issues, guys, for Quinn Ewers in Texas. So I like the under, and I like Clemson team total under 20.5 more than laying the points with Texas in that game. And then at Ohio State, Tennessee, look, I've got concerns about Ohio State and the coaching and the game plan, which didn't look right at all against Michigan. I have concerns about their O-line, which has been banged up down the stretch. And all this talk about this great run defense, Michigan ran the ball against Ohio State pretty decently, and now they got to try to contain Dylan Sampson for Tennessee, who's an outstanding running back. I think there's a close game down to the wire. I'll take the Vols plus the points in Columbus.
Yeah, I can't disagree. Sampson is a load to deal with. We'll see if Chip Kelly, he's been under pressure. They're still living in the past, too. Like, it's game week. At yesterday's press conference, they spent like 20 minutes talking about the Michigan game still. Like, they're not letting it go, right? They're playing Tennessee this week, and the media is hung up on, what about your play calling in a Michigan game? What about your play calling? Will it be different? Well, what do you want him to do? Tell you what he's going to call? So, like, Chip Kelly is being, under the gun. And I almost feel, wow, it was nearly an interception for Cal. I almost feel like he's going to throw the ball more just out of spite because everyone's bitched so much that he tries to run it too much. And then it could lead to interceptions from Will Howard. Like, I'm not a massive Will Howard fan. And right now, Cam, I'm not a Minnesota Wild fan. They're screwing us tonight. They're going to lose to the Panthers. It's 4-1.
I took a shot with the Minnesota, but I got to say this. We got Vancouver. They're leading 1-0. Hopefully we can end that. And I got Anaheim at the start plus 1.5 and money line 2. And they're hanging again. I told Wetzel on In-Game Live, like, San Jose should have beat Winnipeg last night, man. Is anybody watching these hockey games? Like, San Jose, like, Celebrini and those guys, like, Winnipeg scored a late goal. San Jose was good in that game. Like, Winnipeg, the road trip 2 game, they got Ottawa and Toronto. Watch out. Anaheim might win this game. That's how I feel.
Yeah, they're in it. 1-1 right now. Early in the third period of play, and the Vancouver Canucks are up 1-0 on Utah. So the late games, very low scoring this evening. The football game, speaking of low scoring, the total has fallen to 40.5. The under is starting to come into play here as UNLV. UNLV just got stopped and punted the ball. At this point right now, I mean, the only thing that could really get this game over the number is if Cal goes down the field, scores a touchdown, ties it, and gets it 2, ties it at 21, and then potentially, whatever. Yeah, 21 and even 3 would get us to 45, but maybe something happens in overtime. But there's still 9 minutes left. I get the feeling that we still have a play or two left in this football game. All right, tomorrow night, Cam, what's your pick for the Chargers and the Broncos game?
I'm leaning under right now, and that's the way I'm going to play the game. And I kind of want to take the Chargers. A lot of Denver money out there, Gabe, but the under right now for me.
I'm leaning Denver, Babano. You? What's your take, Babano? Quick, though. L.A. or Denver?
We're laying 3 at Denver. They're laying 2.5 now, and they're off a blowout loss. I think the value's Chargers. I'll be on the Chargers.
They love L.A. like Randy Newman.